Alright, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying, Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And I'm going to jump straight into this video. Lord's willing is edifying. It shouldn't be too long. I just wanted to land back off of this video that the brothers out there, GMS Dallas and GMS London, they did a video called World War III Algorithm Venezuela Coup Attempt. It's a good video. I put it on my page already. You should go watch it. I'm not going to play the video. Like I said, I put it up on my page, or you can go directly to their page, GMS Dallas in Class 3. All right. I just wanted to do a quick land back off of this video. Shouldn't be too long. The video was very edifying. But I did a video about this a while ago. I don't remember what exactly it was called or whatever, so I said let me touch on it again since it's fresh in the minds. All right. This guy here, this is probably about it's from November 22nd, 2016. Mike Maloney, gold silver with Mike Maloney, and this was a good map right here. It shows you really why this war is brewing, why this war is going to pop off. It says the map that shows why Russia feels surrounded. And I got it here. He's going to go further in depth in the video. I'll play the video in a little bit. But what you're seeing right here, like the map says here, right? This is South America, right? This is South America. Well, let me start with Russia, for example. Let me start with Europe first of all. The blue countries are basically America, which is the whore, Babylon the Great, all right? The whore, and it sits upon the beast, which is NATO and the EU, right? That's how it spreads its philosophy, its democracy, its wine, right? But through the beast system, these are all the like it says, U.S., European Union, and allies, right? So these are all the countries that are in cahoots basically with the beast. I mean, with the whore through the beast system, through NATO and the EU. Because NATO is the military part of it, and EU is the financial part of that system, right? Which is no more than we always say the rebirth of the Roman Empire. But that's not what I want to get into. But anyway, like I said, basically the blue countries are America and its allies, and the red is basically Russia, China, and its allies. Okay, because we know Russia and China are allies, just like Iran is allies with Russia and China. Okay. But what you see is at one point on the map he's going to show you, a lot of these countries were Russian allies, Russia and China allies, basically, right? And over time, America pushed in and most of the and are buttoned up against the border of Russia, because this is Russia right here, right? So basically, over time, which I'll show you he's going to show in the video, America took over all these countries, right? Through basically NATO and the EU, through the beast system, and they're buttoned up against Russia. They're right at the back door of Russia. All right, so basically they could fly in their troops, station their troops, and then wage war against Russia. Right, real easy. I think the only this is I think Ukraine is right here, or this all could be Ukraine. This is probably an old map, but Ukraine I believe is right here. This is the only country that America hasn't really gotten a foothold in yet. And as we speak, they're trying to do it. You see, and if they do that, then all these countries here will be they'll be right up against Russia. All right, and now vice versa. What you see happening with Venezuela, why it's so important. When you look at the Western Hemisphere, we're in the West. This is the Eastern Hemisphere, right? So America has its foothold basically right up against Russia. Right? Now, when you're looking at the Western Hemisphere, and I don't mean to be long, brothers. I'm just trying to explain it. He's going to explain it better, but I'm just trying to touch on it right quick, so you can really get a picture that speaks 1,000 words. You can understand better. You see Cuba right here, which America always is worried about. When you go back to the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, they were worried that Russia were going to put nukes here. Right here, Cuba, and fire them. Let's see how close they are to Florida. You see? So Cuba, this is Venezuela, and I believe this is Bolivia. These are the only three, and the purple is supposedly neutral countries like Sweden and shit like that, right? But basically, these three countries are the only foothold that Russia and China have to the Western Hemisphere. You see? Now, they can come around on the backside and come around this way, but I'm saying here on the Western Hemisphere, this is their foothold. And that's why it's such a big deal, why America wants. And if you noticed in the news, a country like Colombia and shit like that, they were against Maduro. Why? Because they're allies with America. You see? But Bolivia was like the only country that stood up for Maduro, Venezuela. All right, and at one point Venezuela was like the chief city, the chief country of South America. You know, because of its oil. You know, but anyway, like I said, I was just trying to basically give you guys a better picture, an idea. Like I said, go back and watch it. I'm not gonna stay too long. I'm not. I just wanted to, highlight. I put it on my, put it up on, put it, Salaki. I put it up on my page already. But this is a good video. Go back and watch it. They drop some. They make some good points. The elders make some good points. All right. But with that being said, let's jump straight into this video. I'm not gonna play all of it, but I'm gonna play a lot of it. I'm not gonna really interject. But this was a good video, man. Like I said, I'll give him a shout out again so you can see where it came from. Gold, Silver with Mike Maloney. It's an old video, November 29th, 2016. The map that shows why Russia feels surrounded. All right? So with that being said, let's jump straight into it.
And the Russians now have a reason for their paranoia. They are scared right now that they could be under attack. And here's one of the reasons. This is a map of the former USSR, which after World War II had taken control of countries like...
Salaki, so I was right. This is Ukraine. That was an old map that I was looking at. Currently, right now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only country. All this is blue. All this you're going to see over time, over the course of time, is going to change blue because America and its allies are going to have a foothold in it. But Ukraine is down here. Ukraine, all this is going to be blue right now. This is like the only place that, America, if America took over Ukraine, they'd be right up again. They could just move their troops easily into Russia. It's a lot.
Like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and so on. And then we have here the Eastern Bloc countries, Poland, Romania, East Germany, and so on. And this is what was called the Iron Curtain. And you'll notice here, the USSR, through their allies here, had direct access to the Mediterranean and access to the Atlantic through the Straits of Gibraltar, or from their bases in the Black Sea through the little straits there at Turkey, very narrow straits. Then, in 1949, NATO was created, the North Atlantic Treaty.
NATO, like I said, NATO is the military might. That's what allowed America, the beast, Slovakia, the whore that sitteth upon many waters. NATO's what, that's that power. Like I said, the military might. Through NATO, they were able to come through, take over all these countries like you're going to see. They're going to turn blue, except for Ukraine. All right? And EU, like we said, that's the financial part. That's how the monetary system.
Organization, the U.S. and Canada.
And that's why the scripture said they're going to hate the whore. The beast, the countries that make up the beast, they're going to turn on the whore and shoot on America and shoot missiles on it. That's what you see with Brexit. They want out of the EU, okay? You see, they want to leave that system. That's all biblical prophecy, and we're getting closer and closer.
Are not on this map, but basically it's the United States protecting countries that...
Let me run it. And it's the United States protecting these countries, but the United States, I'm all over, my mouth, Salakia, but the United States are reneging on these treaties, man. They're backing out of a lot of these treaties. So therefore, that would lead them to side with the dominant power, because America is losing its hegemony, its strength. You see? That's why the brothers were going into Syria. The failed coup attempt in Syria. They try to do the same thing in Syria, what they're doing in Venezuela. And what stopped that, like the brothers brought out, was Russia. Russia stepped in and backed. I think his name was Assad, and that's what allowed, because America was using its It's proxy war. It's fighting proxy wars through ISIS, Hezbollah, and all those things. And that's actually what they're trying to say is going on in Venezuela. Like I said, there's no new thing under the sun. This devil is not original. He does the same shit over and over. You see, that's why the scriptures say, "Measure the time diligently in itself." And history, you got to know history. If you don't know where you came from, how you gonna know where you're going? All right, history. You got to know this history. But anyway, I'm busy blabbing. I'm all over the place. But I got Ezekiel. They brought it out. I'll bring it out in the end. But that's why Russia is going to be a guard to all these weak nations, man. Iran, well, Iran ain't weak because Iran is the Persians. But like North Korea, we know Iran was funding North Korea with missiles, which ultimately was Russia. You know, all these weak countries, Venezuela, for example, Russia stepped in and sent their troops down there. They put their bomber down there. You see, let me get that picture again. That's big news, man. You know that, and they don't really talk about that no more. For you to put your stealth bombers and shit, Russian stealth bombers down here with nukes on them that can reach America in lightning speed. You know what I'm saying? That's big news. And China put troops down here. So everybody, like I said before, they just jockeying for sides, man. World War III is in the midst, man. Like the scripture said, the second woe passed, the third woe cometh quick. We in the midst of it. The third woe cometh quickly. We in the midst of it. They just don't want to panic the people. But anyway, let's get back to I don't want to make it too long, man. Like I said before, it's a lot.
Bases in the Black Sea through the little straits there at Turkey, very narrow straits. Then, in 1949, NATO was created, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The U.S. and Canada are not on this map, but basically it's the United States protecting countries that sign up with it. And the deal is that if you're a member of this organization and somebody attacks you, it's like they're attacking everybody in the organization. It's a promise to come to each other's defense should any one of them be attacked. So here we have NATO in 49, and then we've got Turkey and Greece added in 52, and then in 55 we've got West Germany and Spain in 82.
Like I said, you're going to see it all turn blue.
In 1990, East Germany, the Iron Curtain retracted closer to the U.S.
Because America was establishing its hegemony, man. It was building up through that beast system, all right? That's how you know we at the end of this empire, man. Because it's no longer the superpower. Everybody looking at Russia and China, man. All these African countries doing deals with China. All that's why they're gonna have to go to war.
USSR and Albania.
Salaki, I gotta say this too. I'll be interrupted all over the place. The brothers brought out about Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. I forgot that he was up for. Well, I didn't forget, but it passed my mind. So much stuff be going on. He was up for re-election. And they reelected him. And he was in the midst of a major scandals, man. Just like Donald Trump, they wanted to impeach Donald Trump. The same thing that was going on with Benjamin Netanyahu, But yet they still elected him. Why? Because they're under a lot of pressure, man. They keep shooting the missiles over there. That Iron Dome is saving their life, man. So they know what time it is, man. They know what time it is. And they know that, like the brothers brought out, the elders brought out, the Israelis, the people, they know it. They know, man. They're not stupid. Especially the media pushing all this, so-called anti-Semitism and all this stuff. So they know, man. They know they're under pressure. Not to mention they have to see the prophets, So, but the same thing I was thinking with Donald Trump. That's why you see he's up for election in 2020. They're gonna reelect him, man. They're gonna reelect him. Why? Because we're going to war. We are going to war. And the scriptures say terror shall make them afraid and drive them to his feet. The people are going to reelect them because they're going to be the fear, man. The fear of America losing its strength, its power.
A few years before, left the Warsaw Pact countries, the Eastern Bloc countries, and so the Russians lost their direct access to the Mediterranean. And then we've got 1990 to 91, the Warsaw Pact imploded, And all of the former Eastern Bloc countries that were allies of the USSR are now doing trade deals and stuff with the West. And then, in 1999, the USSR implodes, and they lose all of the former territories that were just like state.
The USSR, the Soviet Union, but like the scripture said, Yahweh Shai is putting the hooks in Russia, into Gog and Magog. He put the hooks in them, and he's drumming up that old Soviet Union. Cause the true spirit of he's a colonizer, man. His desire, like the brother said, don't get it twisted. That's why it starts off, Meshach and Tubal, I'm against thee, O Gog and Magog, right? Because don't get it twisted. They are Edomites also, you know. But like I said, the Yahweh Shai is using them, okay? But he's like I said, he's putting the hooks back in them and stirring up that old Soviet Union rocky, spirit, man.
States or provinces of the USSR, they now become independent countries.
And that's why, just like why Israel, the so-called Jews, those fake, them Amalekites, all right? That's why they love Benjamin Netanyahu. That's why those Russians love Putin, because he represents that strength. All right, the same thing with Trump. That pride, that white pride, that whether it's Russian pride, whether it's Israeli pride, it's that pride, that strength, that war spirit. That's what they love, because that's what times we in.
Former Eastern Bloc countries of Poland and Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and former territories. This was part of the USSR, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and now they've changed sides. They're allied with the Americans now. And then some more countries in 2009. So this is what it looks like today. This is what it looked like in 1949. And look at the buffer zone that Moscow had from everywhere, and look at where it is today. The threat is now right
currently, like I said, America, I think this is blue right now, if I'm not mistaken, and they trying to move into here, man. So in the same note, that you could look at Venezuela and South America, the same thing. Russia said, okay, you want to come into our back door? You want to come into our neck of the woods and shit? We're gonna set up shop. We're going to set up shop in your neck of the woods. And that's what you see. Everybody's jockeying for sides, jockeying for power. Not to mention, you got China building up in the I think they over here somewhere building up. Over here by Hawaii, over here, these islands over here. China's over here doing something or the other. Building up. Got bases and shit that they can launch. Because everybody's preparing for war, man. Just like Yahweh Shai said. All right? Wake up the mighty men. But anyway, I don't want to stay long. Like I said, I pretty much drove the point in that. Go watch the brother's video. Like I said, in its entirety, this is a good video, man. I just wanted to put like a face, a picture to it, so you could actually visualize when people are speaking. All right. They brought this out too, but I just want to bring it out again. This is what I was referencing. Ezekiel 38. I'm gonna jump around. Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. And like I said, they're Edomites also. Don't get it twisted. He's just using them. All right? And thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Okay, and that's that old Soviet Union, that Soviet USSR Soviet Union spirit, right? It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, right? And we know Libya's in the news heavy now, right? Persia's the Iranians, all right? It says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, And that's what you see happening with Venezuela. That's why they put them troops down there. All right. But anyway, with that being said, like I didn't want to stay long. I just wanted to touch on that. Lord's willing, it was edifying, and like I always say, man, we almost out of here, man. Keep pushing. Shalom.